Hi, everybody. I hope you're well. This is long overdue, but I decided that I was going to do a little testimony video today. And I'm going to try to make it a little short and sweet. I'll try not to drag out on anything. And honestly, I can't remember a lot of my past. Like, my childhood is not there. Like, I don't remember. I don't remember a lot of my life before becoming a born again Christian, honestly. And that's a good thing. I'm glad. I'm very grateful that I can't remember a lot of my past. And I thank the Lord for that. But anywho, so my name is Avery Beth Box. I was born in March 4th, 1992 in Talladega, Alabama. It's a small town in Alabama. I grew up poor. My parents were pretty young and they weren't ready to be parents, and they were atheist. And I was raised in an atheist household, so I didn't know anything about the Bible. I went to church a little bit as a child, but not much. And I don't really remember it. Like, I would sleep in church. I would sleep in the pew in this Baptist church. And I would, like, play around with my sister. And I never paid attention. And it was all just weird to me. Like, I didn't get it. And, yeah, I grew up without that foundation of Jesus or God or anything. And my parents had to work really hard to provide for me and my sister and them. And they didn't really show me love. And I was a very antisocial child. I didn't really have many friends. I just barely functioned, really. But in elementary school, I was an AP honor roll. And it was because I didn't have friends, really. And I didn't really interact with my parents much. But me and my sister, like, we would play together and stuff. And there was this one time I hit her in the head with a toy Simba or Scar. I can't remember which one. It was either Scar or Simba. I hit her in the head with it because I got mad. And I don't really remember it, but I know that it happened because my parents told me, and my dad got on to me and everything. Like, he whipped me for it. And, yeah, so I was actually a pretty dark kid. Like, I was very dark and fearful. And I was afraid of the dark. I was afraid of the dentist. I was terrified of doctors. I was afraid to speak in front of people, and God kind of has helped me out with that. Like, ever since becoming a born again Christian, I'm better about speaking to people and speaking in front of, like, a crowd. And yeah, so I was just dark, and I was angry and hateful. I hated myself. I told my parents so many times I wish I'd never been born when I got older. Like, whenever I went through heartbreaks and disappointments and letdowns from people. And I'm just going to skip up to 13. When I was 13, we moved to Oxford. And my parents had more money. Like, they had gotten promotions and stuff, and they had better money, and they moved to the house I'm in now. I'm in my old bedroom. It's different now. It's a different color, and it's my dad's office now. And yeah, so Dad got the house in Oxford, and I went to Oxford Middle School in 8th grade, And I got braces, I think, when I was 12. I got braces, and that's when I stopped sucking my thumb. I left that out. I was a thumb sucker. I sucked my thumb in my mom's womb, and I was a thumb sucker up until I was 12 when I got my braces. And I got picked on in school too. I left that out. I got picked on because I was like chubby and I had gap teeth and I wore glasses. My vision got bad, and I didn't really know how bad it was until I got a little older, and I couldn't copy the board. I had to sit right in front of the board to copy down notes and everything. So I got glasses, and then I got contacts, and that was awesome. But I wear glasses still sometimes. But anyway, so at 13, I smoked marijuana for the first time with my sister and my cousin. We smoked out of a can, and I don't really remember it, but I was introduced to it, and I didn't think it was bad. Like, it didn't affect me badly. It didn't affect me negatively. And I didn't think it was a big deal. So 13 and 14 is when I was introduced to true darkness. Like, when I was 14, I started dating this guy named Robert Hayes, and he took my virginity. And him and one of his friends, and I kind of saw him as a friend too, but he introduced me to 4chan, and that's when my innocence was truly lost, like losing my virginity and then 4chan. And 4chan is horrible. It is the cesspool of the internet. It's hell of the internet. I cried, and I remember I would call the friend and tell him what I saw and how it made me cry, and he just laughed, and he was like, oh, it's 4chan for you. He was like desensitized to it, but I wasn't. Like, I cried, and I was scarred from it. I saw such terrible things. And I honestly thought that because I lost my virginity to Rob, that we would get married and have a family and stuff. But he ended up breaking my heart. And he left me, and later on he confessed that he cheated on me a few times, and I was like, wow. I had no idea. But that was my first heartbreak, and I was really broken. I was really depressed. I became suicidal. I took a bunch of pills, and I expected to die in my sleep. But God had other plans. And when I took the pills, I had like an out-of-body experience. It was weird. Like, I was in my bed, and I couldn't move, and I came out of my body, and there was a spirit in the corner of my room, a black spirit. It was just darkness, just an evil spirit in my room. And I came back to, and when I was conscious again, I couldn't move. And I slowly was able to move again. And I remember very vaguely that day I went to the mall. I went to the Quintard Mall, and Rob was there, and the people that I associated with that I thought were my friends. Like, I'm not sure if I told them what I did, but I ended up telling my parents, and I went to a mental institution, Mountain View. I went to Mountain View, and this is when I was 15. Because I know I got my permit around the time that me and Rob broke up. And, man, I hate talking about this stuff. I actually lost my train of thought too. Crap. So I went to Mountain View. That's where I was. I went to Mountain View. And I don't remember it much, but I remember that there was this little rafter thing in my room that said, "Help me." And I remember there was this girl that was covered in cuts, like severely. Like she was just completely covered in razor cuts. And I remember she was like crying, and she was worse than I was. But I hope that she's saved now. I really do. That poor thing. I hope she's still alive. Because I'm not sure how old she was. I don't remember her name or anything like that. But I just remember she was covered in razor cuts. And so I was in Mountain View, and they put me on medication. I can't remember what it was. But they put me on something. And we had school. It was kind of like high school. Because I was in high school, you know. And they had like a little high school setting. And I barely remember it. But anyway, I got out. I was there for like a week, I think, maybe a little longer. And I was medicated. So I had this false sense of like, I don't know how to put it. Like, the medicine helped me cope a little bit, but I was still depressed. I was just broken from Rob, and I wish I could remember better, but I really don't remember that well. Okay. So 4chan, I ended up posting pictures of myself on 4chan. I was underage. And there was people that were replying and stuff, and I had like some really mean things said to me, but then there was people that were encouraging it and wanted me to post more, and I was just desperate for attention from a man, or not a man, but a teenager, a guy. Like, I was only 16, and I needed validation. I had like no identity before Christ. I had a very broken, fragmented identity, and I'll get more into that later. But so after Rob and Mountain View and everything, who did I meet next? I can't really remember who I dated after Robert, but I had many partners. I had many failed relationships, and I was diagnosed with BPD. I was diagnosed with anxiety, depression. I had it all pretty much. The only thing I didn't have was schizophrenia. I've never heard voices until becoming a born-again Christian. And I hear spirits. And man, I wore this dress so you could see my tattoos too. I wanted to show them and talk about them a little bit. But I guess I could just skip to when I was 18, when I graduated high school. I barely graduated high school. It's a miracle that I got my diploma. Because I was a mess. I was a train wreck. And so in high school I had multiple boyfriends, and let me just